Right. Okay, so welcome to your training this week. We are focusing on gratitude. And this is going to be coming to you. Obviously, this is a part of our business training. So, this is going to be coming from the mindset of using gratitude in your business. But of course, with everything that I love to do in my personal business, is I always love to lead with my heart and then take my brain with me, right? So the heart goes first, and then the brain is right there behind it. So I think a lot of people lead all with their heart, actually. And that's one of the things I have to work a lot on people, is that you don't have to sacrifice your heart to run your business, right? And you don't have to give everything away to be a generous, loving person. You have to, so we are going to be talking about gratitude, but a way to actually use that in your business. And I would love for us all to do this. This is something that every one of us can incorporate in our business, and we can do it all together. And it's in even a bigger movement when we do that. You don't have to sacrifice income, sales, business. The things you do not have to get sacrificed just because you want to run your business in gratitude and love and service. You can do both of these things together. I'm actually doing a main stage presentation at Backstage. So one of the things that I mapped out was that, I'm talking about running events. And of course, we want events. We want our events to be fun and rewarding. We want people to feel valued. We want them to, we absolutely want, all of those fun, loving feelings. But we also want them to be priced properly, so that we're building customers that are buying product, that we're building customers that eventually want to join your team, and so forth. And that all boils down to the pricing of your events. You don't have to sacrifice fun and rewarding and gratitude and grateful. You don't have to sacrifice that for profit and for income and sales. You can have them both priced properly and priced for sales and priced strong for income and profit. Those events can still be super fun and super rewarding and full of love and service and full of gratitude. So this is the main thing, is I want you to think about both of them together and how we can, I love running my business and your businesses with a purpose. They will be so much more successful, and the people around you will feel that, and they will know it. So the quote that Tina shared was, "Gratitude sets your attitude." And that is true in so many things in life. And so we want to really use this. It's a super awesome reason to create emotion in our business of gratitude. When I hear people talk and it's a lot of negativity, I always want to say, stop. What are you thankful for? What's going right? What is going in the right direction that we can follow that, instead of always going on with what's going wrong. I always will stop and say, well, what's going right? Because that's where we need to put our energy and our effort on the things that are more going right than the things that are going wrong. But what I want to challenge you for is to obviously use this in your business, as a marketing, as a system, as a program, as a plan. It's a great reason to, number one, create a hashtag and to actually make this emotion in your business. We're going to start gratitude at the beginning, and by the end, I truly believe that it can change lives, change your business, change hearts. It can change your purpose, and it has, and it's emotion. We got to start the motion, and we got to carry it through for however long you choose to do this for. Maybe you do it for a month. Maybe you do it just for a series. Maybe you do it for several months. That's going to be up to you. I do challenge you to do it for more than just an event. I know a lot of you probably have, a fall event on your calendar. Maybe you're going to do a class on thank you cards and gratitude cards. Maybe you have, an autumn leave stamp camp. So I'm sure a lot of you will have or do already have some fall classes on your schedule or events. So what I want to challenge you to do is to actually put this all together more so that it's a motion, that it is something that can and really take a life of its own and affect more than just one event or one week. It can actually affect a lot more. We want to actually focus on people living with a grateful heart. So this isn't just about our business. It is about, doing some research and tapping into the fact of how our lives changed when we live with a grateful heart. Maybe have a speaker that you have come in that can speak on this. Maybe read a book about it. Do some research. How our lives changed when we live with a grateful heart, first and foremost. I do want you to become passionate about this topic so that when you do your motion and your movement, that you truly believe in it. So obviously, when we believe in something, we're more apt to talk about it, we're more apt to share it, and we really believe in it, then we're more apt to put it into motion. I know that if you truly believe this in your heart, then you'll be more apt to take action on this with your customers, your family, your friends. This is not just for your business page. This is for your personal life. This is for your people that are around you. This is for your family. This is for your friends. This is for your church. This is for your fellowship groups, your women's groups, anything that you're a part of. Bring them along with you on this motion. Okay. And obviously people are going to show gratitude in different ways. I know people that quilt and they make quilts to donate. People that maybe make jewelry, or how do we show gratitude? Like, how do we do this? Obviously, we have the best way, right? We have cards and boxes and bags and goodies and homemade and little notes and words that truly dive into people's hearts. Like, we have that. So we have an incredible tool to use to show gratitude. We are all about that. And so we really maximize that right now as this motion. So I want you to do some research on it. I have many times in the past. I've taken Bible studies about gratitude. I have done so much about it, and so I am already quite passionate about it. About how it can actually physically change a heart. It can change. One of my favorite friends and training clients is Dina Rico. And I know many of you know her and love her. You guys see her now. But I knew her 10 years ago when she barely was selling $20,000 a year. And she was in a real tough place. And she was one of my training clients. I would not have called her a friend back then because she was always so negative to be around. And not negative. I don't want to say that. She just was like she was always focusing on what was going wrong. And she would say, but my team's not doing this. My customers aren't doing this. She does. She was giving them everything, the place, the spot, the everything. And it was that, this is the conversation that I was telling you, like she was telling me all the things that were wrong and that she was doing, and people weren't doing what she wanted them to do. And I just said, stop. I can't even talk to you anymore until you start telling me all the things that you're grateful for. That you have to have an attitude of gratitude in everything that you do. Don't talk about the customers that aren't coming to your events. Tell me about the ones that are. Don't talk to me about the team that's not showing up. Talk to me about the ones that are. Don't talk to me about what you're not doing. Tell me what you're grateful that you are. And she's been, now we're very good friends. I love her to pieces. And she told me that day she was mad at me. Like I was probably didn't say it in the nicest way. And she said, but then it really, really, really resonated with her. And she actually created visuals. She created signs. Even today in her studio, she has a big sign that says gratitude. And she has shared with me that it truly changed her heart. And that's what she needed to be in life as well, to move forward in her business. And those of you know her now she's selling over $300,000 a year. Incredible. She just affects so many people with her her whole life is about gratitude and sunshine and rainbows. Doesn't mean she doesn't still go through some really difficult, hard things, but she focuses on the things that are going right. And she needed that reminder. She has that physical and visual reminder that every day she's got to focus on what is that gratitude about that. I should ask her if she'll share her story for me. I'm sure she would. She has shared it of many trainings that I've done. So it is something where that it is a choice, and we need to actually make a physical effort to do it. So when we personally will also focus on gratitude, then it's going to be able for us to pour that into others, to pour that into our customers, into again, our family, our friends, and our team members, and our fellow demonstrators, into each other. This Creating Success, I want us to pour our gratitude into each other. I see you all help each other, support and share. And that's something that we need to be so ultimately grateful for, that we have a team and a support system as we run our businesses. So my goal is not only to change your business, but I believe that it will also change a lot of your lives and your hearts as you move forward, allowing you to be able to work from a place of joy and gratitude, even amongst frustrating things. Don't get me wrong. There is lots of things that can be frustrating. I get that, but those need to be second and more important. We focus on that aspect of gratitude. So let me go through 5 steps. You guys know I'm a stepper. Like those are all great concepts. I'm sure everyone with you agree with what I've said. Like you agree with all of that. I'm sure you do. I think some of you might agree with it more. I feel like some of you have lived this. I have definitely lived this, where I have been in my business and very successful, doing very well, but still almost in a negative place. I was looking for acceptance. I was looking for appreciation from people. And I was starting to get a little burnt out with not just team members, but customers and even sometimes my family. Like, do you appreciate how hard I work? Like I was starting to, my attitude was not the one of gratitude. It was the one of, hey, do you see what I'm doing and how hard I'm working? Like, I need your appreciation. And I remember talking to a friend about it who loves me. And she was like, Rhonda, when your blessings become burdens, you need to have a heart change and start focusing on the things you're grateful for from all of those people and all of those things. And then it is incredible, the change of my attitude, incredible, the change of the attitude of the people around me. Instead of, being frustrated with something or upset. Instead, I think about how grateful I am that I even have those customers. It was huge with my customers. I used to be like, my customers should appreciate all this hard work I do for them. And I would struggle when I'd go to my events to be like, look, I worked all day for you. And now that was one of the biggest switches of my mind was, I am so grateful that you choose me, that I'm able to work for you. Like you choose to be here so that I pour into you, and I'm grateful that you choose me. And I fully feel like that. Even with some of my more difficult customers, they still choose me, and I'm grateful for that. And I want them to know that. And so once that heart change took place, then the customers are going to come to a place where they know they're truly appreciated. So let's be clear on the steps that we're going to follow for this motion and this movement, right? This is not just one event. And again, this can be for a month. It can be for 2 months. It could be for 3 months. You could start it in September and go September, October, November. It could be for a series, so maybe just like 2 or 3 weeks long. I would definitely challenge that it would be at least a month. But this is something where, we got to develop habits with ourselves and with who we're affecting. And so sometimes habits take a couple months to actually get into a routine where we see that change. So maybe you might do it for 2 months, possibly. So number one, we need to create, okay, here's your steps. Step one is to create a hashtag or a movement. Create this graphic. What do you want to call it? To be honest with you, I don't know mine yet. I'm still thinking about it. Leela put down here 30 days of gratitude. So she's saying hers is going to be a month long, right? So I haven't, mine might be live with gratitude, or I don't know yet. I'm still working on it. And you're welcome to use mine. I'm going to make it so I encourage my whole team to use it. We all use it. And then I'll use it. And it's just something that it can be emotion. Emotion is when you want people using that hashtag too. It's not just you. You want lots of people using that hashtag so that it creates a place where people will go and they'll see all kinds of gratitude projects, gratitude stories, testimonies. Obviously we'll have a lot of crafting projects, right? So we want to use that hashtag. So you want to create, you can create your own hashtag. You can use the one that I will create. I actually wanted to pray about it first, because I am going to be doing it in my business. I really wanted to pray about that. Mary McKay, are you trying to make me laugh? You're sitting there flipping around all these filters. I think you're trying to make me laugh. So what is that? And then you can create a graphic about it. And obviously you'll create your hashtag. And you can really start to dive into what that movement is going to look like to you. What is this movement going to look like? So number two, so once you have that, number two is to schedule your events around it. What are you going to do as your event? So this is not just about a concept. This is where we bring our business along with it, right? So what events are you going to hold? Let me give you some suggestions. Maybe it is going to be, you are going to do a fall retreat. Like your retreat is all about a gratitude retreat. Maybe it's a one-day retreat. Maybe it's a stamp camp you're going to plan where you are focusing on all gratitude things for the projects. Maybe if, again, you might already have that scheduled, right? A lot of you probably already have that scheduled. Well, then now you can theme it and you can really use it as a part of your motion. Maybe it is going to be a series of classes. So for those of you who do our Facebook Lives, right, as classes, maybe you do a series of gratitude classes. Maybe you're going to do all of those things. Maybe you'll do a bingo that's all about gratitude. So plan out if you're going, I do want this to increase your business. So if you already have things that you normally do, you can maybe theme some of those as gratitude, but I'd love to see you add something. I want this to increase your output. So maybe you want to add a stamp camp for it. Maybe you want to add a bingo. Maybe you want to add a gratitude retreat. Again, maybe you can pull in a guest speaker. Maybe you can make it more than just creative. So I want you to add something that you don't already have. So as an example, I want to add in a gratitude series of classes because I do have a retreat. I can easily make that themed gratitude, but that's not adding to my business. That's already there. I already have a stamp camp. I could make that gratitude. I might, but that's not adding. So what I want to add in is an actual series of classes where we focus on creating items of gratitude. So obviously one will be a card class. One might be a journal. And yeah, one might be a sampler. So I want to do a series of classes about gratitude. That's adding to my business. That's doing something extra than I wouldn't normally do. But I want you to schedule that now. Don't wait until October 15th and say, okay, now I want to have some gratitude classes. Well, okay, yeah, but we also have all of our Christmas classes and tags. And I'm not going to be talking about gratitude in November and October. We're talking about it now so that we can get it on our calendar. I do recommend doing it in September or October because, and I'm also doing this now because those of you who are in Canada, I know your Thanksgiving, your month of gratitude is in October. So, or it's at the very beginning of November. I think it's in October. So we need to start the season a little bit earlier. We don't need to wait. Okay. So these are some things that are extra on top of what you are already doing. So schedule them now, find the dates. And what events are you going to do? Are you going to do a series of classes? Are you going to do a stamp camp, a retreat, or a bingo, or something that can kind of bring it all together? Number 3 is to, so number 2 was about classes, like just maybe some simple card classes, a journal class, a sampler class. These are some things, some classes that we can do along the way: Facebook Lives, videos, again, motions to kind of support that, live events. But then you can also, I think, to bring it all together, it'd be great to have a one-day retreat, an event, again, you're inviting everybody. Like I'm looking at Mary McKay again here, but she's holding an event in October that's focused on, the new, or maybe it's in October, I think. And she's inviting obviously demonstrators, whoever, she's inviting everybody on her list. So yes, that's great. But why not do one that's also focused on teaching about gratitude, right? We can have guest speakers. We can have, like, this is something where it's not just about creativity. It's how we actually implement living a life of gratitude. So we can invite outside people. We can invite people who don't even get crafty, right? But we got to teach them how to live a life of gratitude. And of course, we'll use our card making and our crafting skills to actually take action on things. So that number 3 is, what bigger event can you hold to kind of bring it all together? Is it a retreat, a camp, a stamp camp, a mega class, a super Saturday? So all of those things we have trained on. You can, if you're like, Rhonda, what's a mega class, or what's a stamp camp, or how would I hold that? What's a retreat or one-day retreat? You can go back to the training to learn how to properly price those. Okay, number 4 is to give directions on what you're going to actually do. So number 1, I don't think this is rocket science, but one of the number 1 ways to take action on gratitude is to have a journal, is to have a gratitude journal where we just write. There was one of the research that I did this for a lot of years. I still have my journals, which is really, really, really cool, is to go back and read those journals. Is that before you go to bed every single night, I don't care how horrible your day was or how great your day was, I don't care how tired you are, I don't care if you're in the middle of a crisis, I don't care if you're in the middle of the most beautiful moments, but every day before you go to bed, you make a list of the 10 things that you are grateful for that day. 10 things. And the cool part is that when I was doing this, is I would be identifying those things all day long. Oh, I'm grateful for that. As a little as finding something on my desk, or little as, these little things like, my husband doing the grocery shopping. Or so we start to look for the things that we're grateful for all day long, because to come up with 10 things, guys, sometimes that was hard. Sometimes that was really hard. So I had to, like, throughout the day, even look at like little things. Like, I'm grateful that my child, was used his manners today, or I just remember lots of little things. And then obviously some things, there are lots of bigger things that we're grateful for. Every day I would be grateful that God was present with me. Every day I could be grateful that I saw little things that he did or worked out for me. Some days I'm grateful that I am breathing, right? That my mother's breathing. Like, every day you can start to find things, but I really challenge you. So that's one of the movements that you can implement. So that means, you want to start off with creating a gratitude journal, decorating the cover of it, teaching them, how to journal every day. So this was not a journal where you actually had to write things out. It is just listing. It's just a list. So it would actually only take about 5 minutes. But those 5 minutes would start to evoke emotions where I would want to journal. And so you could also do it as an actual journal. But the one that I was able to, I think, stay up on the most and that actually changed me the most was just the 10 lists. Now, some people also do that for to start off the day with. I saw a couple of you talk about how you could incorporate Paper Pumpkin because they have a journal in it. So yes, you can, again, use that for Paper Pumpkin as well. I seriously am going to start off with just a notebook. You can get them for like 50 cents at, right now on sale. And then we can decorate it with all of our papers and things or whatever. So I definitely, I'm also going to be doing this as a part of my Creating for Christ, and I might do a little bit of a fancier journal because you'll go through these pretty fast. You can obviously incorporate that into also Paper Pumpkin. And I always listen, just grab a journal, right? If you, you don't have to buy things from me, right? To be a part of this. So I want everybody to feel included because eventually when they're doing it, they're going to want to buy everything from us, right? But I want them to know that everybody is, can be a part of this regardless if you buy my exact journal or not. So that will always be started off. So you want to give them directions as to what they can expect and this is where you might need to do some research. Like I can tell you the things that I have done through the years, but you need to do the research for yourself. That was one of the biggest ones that I did was 10 things of gratitude every single night and just listing them. I've also, a lot of what I do has been through Bible studies that are based on gratitude and how we got to focus on those first, and a lot of our problems melt away. So I would do a lot of journaling of gratitude scripture verses to start off too. Just creating one of the ones I had that was really popular was creating a gratitude scrapbook. And where they could journal in it, but then also drop in pictures, drop in things. So absolutely so easy to do with our Memories and More album, our page protectors, and then obviously just cutting up our DSP and then dropping in, obviously decorating just a little bit. Great thing about those things, you can't decorate a lot. You decorate a little bit, and then it's all about using it every day. Those of you who know me know I've done that a ton in my Creating for Christ. We do a lot of prayer journals, just journaling, just albums to focus on words. Those are words too, but it's also about our creativity, and we can drop in pictures too. So we can definitely, again, that could be another one of the classes that you offer is actually when you're dealing with scrapbookers or crafters or creators, they might want to, so something like that gratitude journal, if it's also incorporating pictures, that becomes an heirloom. That becomes something that's not just a journal that's going to get put aside. That is something where you can, working on it for maybe 3 months, you're going to be creating something that your children and you will be able to have for the rest of your life, and teaching them how their grandmother or their mother or their daughter used gratitude as a tool in their life. They'll learn from that. So it's a great class that you could incorporate at a retreat, and it doesn't have to be difficult, right? It could just be as simple as cutting up. Can even cut it up, right, into 4x6s and 2x3s, adding in some cute pumpkin punches and leaves from the autumn leaves. I've already bought 2 of the autumn leaves dies so that we can run multiples, right? Those are cute little leaves. There's big ones, there's tiny ones. It's awesome. Lots of tools that we can use. There's there's a blessings, like a fruitful blessings bundle in there too. There's beautiful papers. So we've got lots and lots to work with to be able to pull these things together. So that's my question to you, is I just gave you a bunch of ideas. So you're probably thinking, which one do I do? I don't know, right? You could do all of them. Maybe do one month will be starting off with just, the daily counting of your blessings. Then, the next month can be creating that actual gratitude journal where you're using, our Memories and More album and page protectors. So you can, again, this can carry over. The other direction about gratitude, and this is where we really, really pull in, is that people flock, people go to places where they feel appreciated. So if somebody is in your listings of being, you're counting your 10 things you're grateful for, we need to let them know that. So we need to be able to take action on that. One of the actions can be just dropping a text message. I am so grateful for you. Just wanted to let you know that I do that a lot. But I also choose to want to send out a card. And it's so powerful when we do that. So as we're focusing on our gratitude, we want to be able to take action on that. We want people to feel our gratitude. We want our customers, our team, our friends, our family, our neighbors, our community, like we got to get this out there. So maybe it's your 30 days of gratitude. Your next direction is 30 days of sending out a card to someone that you're grateful for. 30 days. But that, again, that could be your UPS driver. That could be your nail technician. It could be anybody. But this movement, what's this movement going to do? It's going to give purpose to their creativity. It's going to give purpose to them making cards. It's going to give purpose to you doing card classes to create cards of gratitude. So it can be, you could do a stamp a stack, right? Where they make 4 different cards, 3 of each or 4 of each, so that they actually start off with a stack of cards that they will use. So it will absolutely be, every day sending out a card. So start off, get 30 postage stamps, make sure you got your 30 cards. And then every day, again, if you start the plan ahead of time, what will happen is that they will be thinking all day, who am I going to send my card to tomorrow? Right? They're going to start planning ahead. Of course, maybe the first week or 2, they might already have planned out, a family member, a friend, a team member, but then they're going to start to be more aware of who they're grateful for and why. And then our cards take action on it. So now we have a purpose. We're not just taking a card class because my cards are pretty and they're fun. We're taking a card class because we need tools to be able to live this life of gratitude. So this is, again, another class that could be erupted, a gratitude stamp a stack, so that they have this pile there. So give directions on what your motion looks like. I just, again, gave you several ideas, and it does include journaling. It does include, writing and taking action every day. It does include making cards and sending cards. And then obviously one of them, the last one in my mind, is creating visuals. Dina really taught me that about the whole thing. She goes, Rhonda, I could easily slip back into my non-gratitude ways, but I needed a daily visual. And so okay, what do we do, right? We can create framed art. We can create samplers. I love to do that. Those are some of my most popular classes. And so we can, create samplers about having a heart of gratitude. And we've got lots of, again, beautiful items that we can use to create those with. So give directions and then how you're going to use it, and what the plan looks like. Again, if it's a 2-month plan, you can put that out there. If it's a 1-month plan, and let your customers, your team members, your family, friends, let them know how they're going to be able to participate with you. What's really cool is people are always real gung-ho at first, right? Like, let's do this. We're all going to do it together. And then all of a sudden, a week later, life gets in the way. And then they're gone for a little bit. But if you stay really consistent with yourself, that'll give them a chance to come back and jump back in, right? So you need to make sure that in your planner, you're mapping out all of these things. Everything I mapped out to you on a daily basis does not need to take much time. Now, yes, a class and an event, that will definitely take more time. But this also needs those daily reminders. And that's number 5. Just right in it. Number 5 is you participate every day. It's a reminder. If it's, snapping a picture of one of the cards that you're sending it to, if it's snapping your journal, if it's sharing a quote about gratitude. I really think what's powerful is sharing testimonies. So throughout this motion, throughout this month or several months, I'm going to be asking for testimonies on how this is affecting you or how it's affecting other people. Like, how did someone feel when they received one of your cards? How do you feel during the day knowing that you're going to have to go to bed at night with your top 10 of the things that you are grateful for? Like, how did that change you? How did that affect you? So I want to share these stories because that will motivate other people to jump in. And they don't have to jump in. Yes, it's great if you're coming from the beginning, come in the middle, come at the end. And we want to develop practices that you and me and all of our customers, that they can actually keep going on even after our motion is done, because obviously then we'll come up with something else, right? But we need to be doing this daily to participate. So make sure you have your phone at all times, snapping a picture of a thank you card, maybe and it doesn't even have to be your own. If you are in a pinch, then get one from Stampin' Ups, but we want to make sure showing them of you mailing a card every day, showing your journals, maybe even sharing sometimes. This can be a little personal, but what were your 10 things that you were grateful for? And encourage them to share as well. So that might help people kind of start to watch the world around them and looking for being grateful in the big things and the little things. So you want to challenge yourself to participate every day. Now, how that becomes truly doable is if on your 2 ways, you could have a checklist that's 30 days long, just 30 boxes if you want to. And then every day, and you can number them 1 through 30. And then every day that you post, email, or share about your gratitude motion, you just check the box and you just make sure every day is checked. So that's a visual. What personally I'll do, you guys know I live out of my bullet journal. So I try to look at my bullet journal every single day, not so much on the weekend. So that one might be trickier, but is that you can put a box on every day, and that box is there for you to participate. Do your top 10, do your journaling, do your sharing on social media, use the hashtag. If you use that hashtag for 30 days, other people are going to start using it too, and encouraging them to use it. So every day you need to participate as well. And if you fall off the bandwagon, it's okay. Jump back in. Don't be hard on yourself, right? I think though, if you make it a true commitment and you keep it consistent. So I'm actually I'm reading a book about, it's about, really developing your heart. And one of the things that it's a woman after God's own heart book. And one of the things that they talked a lot about, which of course we all know, it's consistency, right? It's consistency. It is doing it every day. And then it becomes a habit and we do it. And so I'm like, of course, I know consistency. I teach and preach consistency to you guys all the time. But the one thing that I read that really helped me to put this into perspective was I also need to be consistent about the time of the day that I do it. That makes it more doable. So I believe with this as well. So if you do it in the morning, in the afternoon, in the night, if you do it here or there, it's too easy to have something else come in. Your brain is trainable. Like you can train your brain, and your brain then trains your actions. So if you do the same thing at the same time every day, then your brain will start to automatically think about doing it, and then your body will follow the actions behind it. So for this, I would figure out what time of day or when am I going to journal? When am I going to do my top 10? Where am I going to do it? So it's with you at all times. If it's in your bed before you go to bed at night, maybe it's in a quiet room where you do your quiet. Maybe, to be honest with you, one of my best places is right here in my studio, right when I get to work. Because when I'm at home, it's real crazy. I've got just a chaotic, crazy house. So I very rarely can find quiet time at home. But as soon as I get to my studio, it's quiet for about a half an hour. So that's usually my place where I'll do my reading or my praying and all those things. But it's really important that you have a consistent time and a consistent place where you implement this. And again, this may only be 10 minutes a day. So there's no excuse that you don't have the time. Now, obviously planning for a class, preparing your projects, designing and all that, that's a different story. I'm talking about participating in the motion, participating in the action, sending out a card a day. If you're not sending out a card a day for people you're grateful for, then how can you ask somebody else to do that? Right. So we have to set that example. So that's my challenge to you, is for you to participate every day and share what that is that you're willing to participate in. So what are those directions? So step one was creating your hashtag, your movement, your graphic, and laying out what they can expect. So when I lay this out to my customers, I want to know what they can expect from me. So is it an event? Is it series? Is it classes? Is it daily journaling? Is it, daily sending of cards? I'm going to have all of those things. I'm going to have all of them, but I want to spell it out so that my customers will know what to look for and what to expect. I'm not just going to pop it here, throw this in. I'm going to say, this is our movement of living a life of gratitude. And so join in and do it with me, and friends and teams and everybody along. So again, hashtag movement. Number two, planning ahead those classes, planning the series, get the dates actually on your calendar. So then, because again, guys, we're going to move forward. It's going to be October before we know it, in November, and we're going to be heading full force into Christmas, right? And the holidays. And so I want you to get this scheduled now, so you don't have to pick or choose. You get to do both. Number three is to develop that bigger event, that retreat, the big camp, the mega class, where they might do multiples of different projects, or the Super Saturday where they're doing 3 different smaller ones. Get that planned. Kind of have it be the hub of where you might bring a lot of these things together. Number 4 was to actually give the directions. Write them up, type them up, of how you're going to be implementing living a life of gratitude, and how they can do it along with you. And then number 5 is for you to participate every single day. Tina had another great example, is to set an alarm on your phone or a reminder on your phone, and you can have it repeat. So it's that same time so that you don't forget. And lastly, in closing, our crafting and our creating needs to have a purpose. And this is a huge purpose. When people have a purpose, then they will give it their time. They will give it their money. They will give it and share it with others when they truly have a purpose behind it. And what I'm mapping out, I believe, will not only change your heart and your life, but it will change your business, and it will change the heart and lives of others as well that follow along with you. So I'm going to challenge you to do it with me too. You'll see mine come out. I'll share it with all of you even ahead of time. And because I believe this is a movement that we can all do together to really actually make a difference with us and with others. All right. Someone asked me the name of the book that I'm reading. It is A Woman After God's Own Heart. So that's the book that I'm reading right now, that talks about all those things, what I was sharing. All right, does anybody else have any questions about this? Anybody else have a story that they want to share? I know a lot of you have beautiful hearts. I really, really want to challenge you to lead with your business brain on this one. And second of all, I think a lot of you have business brains, but I want to challenge you to bring your heart along with you. And so everybody is different. And I know that when we do both of these together, that really amazing things can happen. All right. Is there anybody that has any questions? I'm trying to think if I saw some. Yes, Connie, think about how powerful this can be. I agree. I can tell you that people always ask me, how do you stay motivated in your business, right? 22 years later, where's that motivation? I am motivated right now. Like, I talk about this and I have the chills. I'm excited about this with my entire business, again, because it has a purpose. So I'm pretty sure this can be a powerful thing, even if just one person participates, one person, and one person's day is made better. That was worth what we do. And so we just got to focus on one person at a time. All right. Yeah. Tina Bean already has her hashtag. I love that. Let's see here. Yep. And Mary McKay was like, composition notebooks. We can really decorate those up. I'm a spiral bound girl. I have to have spiral bound in my notebooks. So some of those the nicer looking composition books, they're bound, and I need this spiral because I got to flip them up and leave it on my table with a million other things. Yes. I have done gratitude journals many times. So I'm excited to do another one with new products and but I've always just done them as like a one-time class. And this one, I really want to do different. I want it to be bigger than just a class. See. Creating gratitude. I love that, Lynn. That's a great name because we're going to be creating this. Sometimes we don't feel grateful at all. And this is the point of it, is that we don't, right? We feel a lot of times we feel frustration and overwhelmness and anxiety, and we don't feel that gratitude. And that is exactly why we're doing this, is so that we can begin to feel that. Sometimes we got to create that gratitude in our lives. So I love that, creating gratitude. I write that one down. Hashtag creating gratitude. Because I have a lot of people that will be like, well, I'm not feeling real grateful right now. I'm like, I know, I'm not either. But you know what? We are going to find the things that we are grateful in, right? So I love that. Thank you. Okay, so I didn't see any other questions. Good luck. Again, plan ahead, work ahead. This is, you can take action on it right away, because you can start doing the graphic, doing a lot of these things, getting the schedule moving. Like, I want to give you a couple weeks to be able to start to implement. If you're implementing on September 1st, you can implement on September 15th. Again, don't get too caught up, but don't delay, because the more you put it off, the more you're gonna be like, oh, maybe now I'll do something. I'll do it later. I'll do it next year, or whatever. Like, take some action today on getting it moving. All right. Thank you, guys. Have a great week. For those of you who are going to Las Vegas, I would love to see you. We did not set up a gathering. I'm real bad about that. I'm real bad. I have so many up here things going on that it's always usually Celine that does that. Or if there's somebody else who wants to be the organizer and find the time, the place, I can help make sure everybody gets there. I just am bad about the actual organizing of it, but I would love to see all of you in Vegas. Would love it. And so anyway, if you see me, please come up, say hi, give me a hug. Let me take a picture together. Like, I would love to see you. All right. Melissa said 7:55 before the party on Thursday. Does our party start that late? See, I don't even know the schedule yet. This is why I'm not in charge of planning things. So, all right, if Melissa and I might chat, she might be in charge of the one getting us all together. So we could take a photo op. That might be a really good idea, Melissa. We at least, and maybe not 7:55, but maybe 7:45. Getting us all organized can be a little crazy. So that might be a perfect time. All right, is so late. I know, my gosh, that's like midnight my time. I'm gonna be a zombie. So I might have to just give you guys all a little hug and kiss and do some swapping and then go back to bed. All right. Okay, you guys have a rest of your great day. Melissa, you can message me if you're willing to say yes. And I can usually get Celine to be in charge of taking the picture too. She's real good. She used to be a photographer in her original days. We just got to find a place and a location and how we're going to find each other. And someone who will be really helpful in communicating that information. All right, we'll see you guys later. Bye-bye.